Hello viewers, welcome to today's session. Myself Rasmita Jena, lecturer in Computer Science, UN College of Science and Technology. So today I am going to discuss array in data structure. As we already discussed, what is array, what is the definition of array, how can we declare an array, and what is the purpose of using an array, and how we can initialize the array. So let's have a discuss on array in data structure. So first we will know some primitive data types, then we will go for the array declaration and their uses. We know that there are number of primitive data types are there in C language, okay, and here we are using array in data structure, and we must implement this array by using some programming language, and here I am using C programming language to implement this data structures. In previous classes we already discussed about some linear and non-linear data structure. So first we will know some primitive data types and their declarations and how those variables are reserved memory in memory RAM and what the constants are stored in that memory location. So let's see, suppose I have a primitive data type, that is suppose int, okay. Suppose here I am writing int x and x equals to suppose 5, and whenever I declaring int x, it means it reserves 2 byte memory in memory RAM. Suppose that memory are 100 to 102, that means 100 to 101 1 byte and 100 to 102, that is 2 byte. So the 2 byte memory is reserved by the integer variable x. And when I am writing the second statement, that is x equals to 5, in this reserved memory location the constant 5 only is to be stored in that location. This is the primitive data type, and similarly we can also declare float x or y as per your choice. You can declare the name of the variable. Similarly we can declare character, cs. So these are the primitive variable declaration. But question is that if we want to store more than one data element in a memory location or within a single variable, then what we will be do? In that case the concept of array is arrays. So array is what? Array is a linear list, is a collection of homogeneous data element. That means array is a derived data type which is used to store more than one element of same type in a consecutive memory location. It means array reserves consecutive memory in memory RAM and it can store more than one constant value. Okay, let's see how we can declare the array. The declaration of array. The declaration of array. So array can be declared. You can see this is the declaration of a single integer variable. Instead of this, if we want to store more than one data element, that means by using array, then I can write int x of 5. It means x can store 5 elements. X can store 5 elements. Then what is the general syntax for declaring the array? The general syntax is data type, array name, and the size of the array. Okay. So let me explain the syntax for declaring the array. Here data type means you can take any primitive data type, that is integer, float, character, any data type you can take as the data type of the array. Array name is similar like a name of the variable. The same rule which are used for declaring a variable can be used for declaring the array name. Like the variable name must start from a alphabet. Similarly, the array name must start from a alphabet. It may be a combination of alphabet, digit, and only the one special symbol, that is underscore. There is no blank spaces or special symbols are allowed within the variable name, and similar as the array name. So these are the some valid rules for declaring the array name. So you can declare a valid array name, and is the size of the array. Size of the array means how many element a array can be stored, that can be defined by the size of the element, or the user can know from this size of the size of the array that how many element we can store in that array. Okay. So let's see one example how can we declare an array. Suppose here I am writing int a of 5. In this way I can declare this. Okay. Suppose I am writing int a of the blank space, that means this is a invalid declaration. Okay. If I write int a of n be a variable, and this is also a invalid declaration of array. So this one is only the correct method how I can declare the array. Here I am declaring an integer array. Here I am declaring an integer array a of 5. That means this integer array a can store 5 element in the memory location which is reserved when we declare this variable at the compile time. That means when I am declaring int a of 5, then the compiler can reserve the memory location of 5 memory location each of 2 byte. That means total 10 byte memory is reserved, and at that memory location we can store 5 integer type constant. Okay. So then comes to some other declarations. Similarly, we can declare also float type variable. So we can declare float a of 10. Similarly, character array can be declared like character ch of 3. So these are the some array declaration, that is here this one is the integer type array, this one is the float type, and this one is the character type. So this is all about the declaration of array and some valid declaration and invalid declaration. And from this point, when I am declaring this variable int a of 5, then the compiler reserve how many byte? Compiler reserve 10 byte. Compiler reserve 10 byte memory in memory RAM. Suppose 100, 102 like this, it can reserve memory. Okay. The next question is, how can we uniquely identify a particular location? How can we uniquely identify a particular location? So we can uniquely identify a particular array location from their index value, from their array index value. That means array index is used to uniquely identify a particular element in an array. And by default, the array index, it starts from 0 and ends at size minus 1. That means those size is given at the time of declaration of array, the array index will end at that point. Okay. So you can see here this is our array declaration, and this array having size 5, that means it starts from array index 0, this is the default index, and it continues as 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. You can see the array index ends at 4, that means size minus 1. Here the size is 5 and array index is ends at size minus 1. As I already told, at the time of the array definition, array reserve consecutive memory. Here you can see the array reserve consecutive 10 byte memory for the array a of 5. So this is all about your declaration of array. In some cases, the array index may start from 1 and ends at size. That means you can also write this is the array location a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4. Okay. And in some cases, the array may starts from 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4, a of 5. Okay. So I already told about that. Suppose array starts from reserving memory from 100 location, that I am assuming this value. Suppose array starts its reserving memory from the location 100, then how can we get the next location? Before we going for that, we must hear about that how many element a array can be reserved, how many element a array can be stored. So that is the formula, how many element a array can be store. Length UV minus LV plus 1. This is the formula which is used to calculate the number of element can be stored in an array. Suppose this is the our array, that is int A of 5. Okay, you can see, suppose I am assuming the array index starts from 1 and ends at size. So how many elements this array can store? We can calculate by using this formula. The upper bound of this array is 5 and the lower bound of this array is 1. Okay, n plus 1. So it will be 5. Okay, that means this int A of 5 array can store maximum 5 element. You can store maximum 5 element. That means after 5 you can store 6 or 7 number of element, but you can store less than 5 element. That means if you want to store 4 element or 3 element or 2 element or 1 element, you can store it, but you can exceed from the array size. Okay, that is how we can calculate how many element a array can hold or how many element a array can store. Then next we will discuss how we can calculate the address location of each and every array element. So next we will see how the memory location of each array element is to be calculated. The memory location of each array element, is to be calculated by using this formula. That is, suppose the general form is, suppose we want to calculate the address of A of I. Okay, so for that I can write base address of array A plus I into W. Okay, so base A means, it means the starting address of the array or the starting memory location of the array. That means here in this array the base A means it is 100. Okay, and I means this index value, and W means that is the word size. Okay, this is the formula used to calculate the memory location of each array element. Let us see one example. As consider a linear array A of 5, consider a linear array A of 5 and the base address of linear array A is suppose 100 and the word size for memory cell of the array A is suppose 2. Then we have to find the address of A of 2. So this is the base address, that means the address of A of 0 location array element. Then we have to calculate the address for A of 2. Then we must apply this formula, solution. Suppose base A is given, that is 100 and the word length is 2 and we have to calculate A of 2. As we have to calculate A of 2, so our I is 2. So by using this formula we can calculate memory location for A of 2. The address of A of 2. So put this value according to the formula. So base A, that is 100 plus I means 2 into one length is W, that is given, that is 2. Okay. Then the result is 100 plus 4, that is 104. That means A of 2 is start reserve memory from the location 104. We can see this is the memory location and you can see this A of 2 starts reserving memory from 104 location. Okay. So in this way we can also calculate the address of A of suppose 4. So the base address is 100 plus according to the formula I means that is 4 into 1 length is 2. So 100 plus 8, that equals to 108. You can see the memory location for A of 4. The memory location for A of 4, that will start from 108. In similar process, you can also calculate the address for float variable, the address for character variable. So next we will discuss how we can initialize an array. So initialization of an array. Array can be initialized in two ways, that is at the time of the array compilation and at the time of the execution. So we will discuss briefly the runtime initialization in later time. So today we will discuss the compile time initialization of array. So the compile time initialization means when we declare the array and when the compiler start compiling the array, at the time of the compilation the array can be initialized. So let's see the initialization of array during compilation time. So when the array is declared as int a of 5, at the compilation time it may take maximum 5 values or less than 5. Okay. So when I am declaring this, the array reserve 10 byte memory. The array is A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3 and A of 4, and these initialization values are stored in the reserved memory location. Okay. As I already told about that, array is a collection of homogeneous data element, and the initialization, if I am doing like this, then it is a valid initialization. Similarly, I can initialize the float type array like 10.0, 11.1, 12.2, 13.5 and 14.6. So this is also a valid initialization. Similarly, I can also initialize a character type array. Suppose A, B, S, D, E. This is a character array initialization. So these are the valid array initialization. If I am trying to initialize 10, 10.1 A like this, then it is a invalid array initialization, because array is a collection of homogeneous data element. That means array is a collection of similar type of data element. But here I am initializing one integer element, one float value, one character value. That's why that is a invalid array initialization. So this is all about your array initialization. So next we will discuss the operations that we may perform over an array. The operations means the traversing, sorting an element in our array, inserting a new element into an array, deleting an element from an existing array, and also we can merge the two array. We can also sort the array elements in descending or ascending order. So next we will see the different operations over the array. So this is all about the basic concept of array, how we can declare an array, then how we can store and initialize the data values in the array, and how the array are memory reserved, and how we can calculate the address for each and every location of the array. Thank you.